News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
All right, I don't want to forget about your baseball story, but now we'll just do it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So remind me, I got it written down here.
Absolutely. Well, two unlikely allies have come to the aid of Al Franken, two people you probably would not have assumed, Adam. Fox News reports that The View host Whoopi Goldberg derided the Me Too movement's rush to judgment for former Senator Al Franken of Minnesota before his resignation last year. And Joy Behar even jumped in as well. She and her co-hosts were discussing a New Yorker story in which Franken said he regretted his decision to resign amid sexual misconduct allegations. Here's a clip of what Whoopi had to say about it real quick.
Due process to me is a must.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens. People, we talk about witch hunts, or he talks about. That's a witch hunt. Because the Me Too movement came up, and everybody said, there was no space to say, well, wait a minute, let's talk about this. I think, and I know, and hold on to your emails and your texts. Okay?
As if you read them anyway.
Wow.
So Joy. Then she referred to it as a political hit in many ways. And Behar also reflected on Franken's apology, indicating that it was a bad decision because Trump doesn't apologize and he's doing just fine.
Yeah.
The key to success.
No?
Yeah, I agree. And Al feels like a sad figure to me.
Well,
I feel bad for that guy, and he shouldn't have done that. And it was all politicized, and it was a hit and everything like that.
And Joy went full Adam when Meghan McCain said something about, the picture and, trying to touch her boobs. And she said, no, she was wearing a flak jacket. He wasn't trying to touch her boobs. Right. She was in a flak jacket.
He said
posing
the only problem, picture. Yeah, she trying to cop a feel.
the only problem is that she was asleep, and he admitted that was not right, but she was in a flak jacket.
Yeah, and I'm fine with all of what Whoopi said, and I agree. But she should have had the same feelings about Judge Kavanaugh. She should be should be consistent, and if she's consistent, then I'm completely cool with it, as long as it's not a political thing. If you need to see, hearsay and innuendos, not enough to convict people.
But he did get his due process. They had hearings, they had witnesses before.
Kavanaugh.
He was allowed to testify.
Yeah, he did. I'm just saying the notion of stories that just keep coming out, but we don't have any place, we don't have any times, we don't have corroborating witnesses. Just these stories enough to build a dream on. I don't. It's not a good place to head down in terms of society. But yes,
and also I don't know that we have a quote to pull from this time last year. Her saying the same thing. This is a very
I'm guessing he doesn't have that one.
Yeah. So the Louisiana cop who made a threatening Facebook post about Congresswoman AOC has been fired, and so has a fellow officer who liked it. So basically, the officer Charlie Rispoli posted a link to a bogus news story. By the way, it was not true.
I don't know. When someone makes a off-color racial or whatever joke and you laugh, I don't know. How much trouble are you in? I liked a little more, but I don't know. I feel like that's the online equivalent to laughing at a Pollock joke.
Right.
But anyway.
What did you call him?
Gina, you're in big trouble.
I know. You're in trouble.
He's a funny guy. Can't help it. So it was this bogus news story in which AOC was purportedly quoted saying troops are overpaid. And he wrote, "This vile idiot needs a round, and I don't mean the kind she used to serve," referring to her past as a bartender. After an internal investigation, police chief Arthur Lawson fired both Rispoli and the guy who liked the post.
He's got the word law right in his last name, so I think he knows what he's doing.
That's right.
She was saying that troops or border people, what was her thing?
The quote was that, the bogus quote apparently was that...
she didn't say that.
Yeah, was that troops are overpaid. And that
How do we get the bogus quotes?
Well, look at the...
There is a cottage industry.
Look at the website. It's tatersgonnatate.com.
Oh. Vinny Tortorich that's not a fan of that website.
Yeah, that's where he found this alleged quote.
I don't know how we got here, but there is a cottage industry on all sides of the political spectrum of just making fake quotes and putting them on pictures and just putting them out there. I assume a lot of it's like Russian troll farms, but I just assume a lot of it's just disinformation from shitty people. There's a shocking. I follow Snopes, and Snopes is like the we'll get to the bottom of this website.
Fact checker.
They're just constantly like, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake. All sides.
And they'll tell you, they'll say this one's a mixture. This is what's true about it. This is what isn't.
Yeah, the thing about right and left in this stuff is,
it's a race to the bottom.
It is. It's also, though, you have to think it is something Trump or AOC would have said.
It has to be on brand.
Which kind of means
persona.
They earn that spot at least in the space of, he would have said that. Oh, she could have said that.
Like attributing something to Mike Tyson. There's nothing crazy enough they'd be like, no way, he didn't do that. Like, of course he could have.
Right. Well, meanwhile, 2 New York City police officers are being widely applauded for showing restraint as a group of Harlem residents douse them with buckets of water, threw stuff at them as they made an arrest. Before I continue, here's the video just so you can see what we're talking about.
They were making an arrest.
So people are just throwing buckets and balls and
that's actually
water
too much.
At them.
There's a bucket being...
They keep tossing buckets of water at them and the actual buckets.
It's a little breakdown of rule of law that's not going to serve our society well. The fact where nobody's scared of cops and people are like physically wrestling with them and doing things to them. It's not good. It's a way to get shot,
the pendulum's swinging the other direction. Like, that cop got hit in the head with a bucket. Like, I wouldn't mind him throwing someone to the ground for that.
Yeah. Well, the scene was obviously caught on video, went viral. The NYPD chief, Terrence Monahan, tweeted, NYC's cops and communities have made remarkable progress together, but every New Yorker must show respect for our cops. They deserve nothing less. The officers were arresting a man for disorderly conduct when the community started throwing water at them. No other arrests have been made, but the incident is under investigation.
Yeah.
Why do we always see the video? This is what makes me mad. It's like we always see the video of the end result.
Right.
Of them being arrested. But we can't, can you show me the video before the arrest?
I'm sure somebody has it.
Can you just show me that? Do we have to have the super edit, like right to the ground and being handcuffed? I get so mad.
How did we get there?
Yeah, man.
We're the rule law is just breaking down. I mean, that's the homeless situation. The cops can't do anything. It's the whole Ferguson effect. Like, they just can't. They're scared. They don't want to get. They're getting filmed. They don't want to. They don't want the city to burn down. I mean, you take a look at Ferguson. You get this guy, the gentle giant teenager. He does this like strong arm robbery of a liquor store on someone who may be opening at the Bray Improv for a show. He may be a family. Yep. He walks in, he knocks a guy down, he takes a bunch of stuff. Then he walks down the street. The cop tells him, get out of the middle of the street. He's like walking down the middle of the street. He, I guess, doesn't get out of the middle of the street. Now, the grand jury came back and everything. He wrestled with the cop for his gun. Like, at some point, the cop came up to him, and then they struggled. Okay, we're going to burn the whole fucking city down, and cops are scared to get out of their car, and they brought in, I don't know if it's Eric Holder or the justice, whatever, and they didn't find anything. They found it was as it was. They had an eyewitness saying the cop shot him in the back. He didn't shoot him in the back. The guy lied. They brought it in front of a jury. They found DNA on the gun, and the fucking city burned down. Obama was like, oh man, we got some bad cops over here in Ferguson. It wasn't bad cops. This guy was a fucking thief. He walked into a liquor store and robbed the liquor store, and then a cop showed up a little bit later and told him to walk on the sidewalk. This is the threshold for burning a fucking city down now? And then what are the cops supposed to do in this situation? Not get out of their car? Mm-hmm. I guess, whatever. Hey, crime-riddled neighborhoods, you guys now are going to have more crime. There's going to be more violent crime because cops don't. Black Lives Matter. Fucking statistical lie. They fucked it all up for these people. Everyone has to go along with Black Lives Matter because we're scared. No one wants to be called a racist, so everyone just goes, okay, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, okay. Statistically, they cannot bode that out at all, what they're talking about. Of course, when Daniel Shaver gets shot in Mesa, who's white as a ghost, we don't hear about it because it doesn't fit a narrative, and more black people are going to get killed because cops are just going to go, either I'm not going to be a cop or I'm not going to get on my fucking car. This is not what you're looking for. We need respect for the cops, and the officials who are in charge of the cops can't be scared of the constituency. They have to back the cops, and they have not backed the fucking cops. Everyone backed off. Nobody's running on law and order. Everyone's running on prison reform. Everyone's running on fuck the cops. All all the candidates are running on prison reform, not law and order. So there's just going to be more of this. People get emboldened. They're just emboldened. It's the same thing in the classroom. Like they're throwing punches at teachers and stuff. The stuff we didn't dream of. Putting our hands on a cop, throwing a punch at a teacher, the stuff that didn't exist, it exists now because we've gotten rid of fucking law and order, and we've decided that everyone in prison, like you hear Whoopi, God bless her, with Al Franken, but when she's talking about people in prison, she's like, oh, that could have been any one of us. Any one of us that robbed a bank. Yes, it could have been any one of us who's in prison. Stop pretending that everyone in prison is not a fucking criminal. I was a low-level offender. He tried to sell a doobie at a Fish concert. That's not who's in prison. A lot of violent fucking guys in there who committed a lot of crimes. We're letting a lot of them out. We're not enforcing anything. Everyone's just living on the street. The cops can go fuck themselves if they tell someone, if they start packing up someone's shit on the street, they'll get sued. So you guys want to live in the breakdown of law and order. That's what we're living in. There needs to be oversight, and there needs to be bad cops pulled out of commission, but the answer isn't fuck the police. That's just going to get more people killed. Yes?
Yeah.
100%.
Jesus Christ.
No, I loved it. That was a great rant.
If they don't want to step in anymore, absolutely.
The whole studio should have went black and just a spotlight on you. That was amazing. That was so good.
There is the Ferguson effect, which is cops don't want to get involved now, and thus there will be more people getting shot and stabbed. Because why would you get out of your car as a cop? Yes. All right. I don't know. What was the findings on that whole Ferguson? Like hands up, don't shoot. No, he fucking wrestled with a cop, and then he got shot. That's how it worked. But we don't have that story. That's not how it worked. By the way, how do I know he wrestled with a cop? Because 5 minutes later, he was wrestling with a liquor store owner. He's a guy like to tussle, I'm guessing. He had a liquor store owner go, hey, you can't leave with my Tiparillos, and he fucking pushed him down. Like
a real Sonny Corolla.
Scrap. He didn't have a big beef with putting his hands on people who are in a position of authority. It could have been a theme. Anyway, gentle giant, hero. Anyway, fucking Black Lives Matter. Fuck them. And everyone, and not fuck Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is just trying to get money, or they're just trying to get power, or they're just trying to get whatever. It's all the pussy whiteys that fear all these guys. Everyone's in fear of being called racist, so they don't say anything. Okay, good. See how it works. See how it goes. Found no. All right, you figure it out, Max. The investigation found no evidence that he had his hands up and said, don't shoot. Well, and it just keeps going. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, one more cop story might not like these guys as much. The New York Daily News reports that police officers in Cobb County, Georgia, posed as construction workers this week to bust distracted drivers. Ugh. So here's how this went down. Officers worked undercover, dressed up as construction workers at 9 a.m., right during rush hour, until noon to catch drivers using their phones. When they
here's what I don't like. Yeah. I don't like the police woman dressing as prostitutes. I don't like the cops dressing as construction workers. You got to be in that fucking uniform.
Thank you. They'd radio ahead to patrol cars down the road, and they would just swoop in and pull over the dude that these guys saw. It resulted in a total of 65 cell phone violation citations, 16 seatbelt violations, 7 license violations, and 13 just miscellaneous.
Just because we need money.
Ducks in a barrel violations.
Who beside, or maybe Mike August, I don't know, who is holding their cell phone to their ear in 2019 when they're driving? I don't care about the safety part, just who doesn't have an earbud or who doesn't Bluetooth up in 2019.
I agree with you on that respect. I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here and say that I'm kind of glad they were at least giving out the distracted driving tickets, because at least in L.A., it's not up to the ear. I drive from the west side to here every day.
Is this part of the act?
I see multiple people. Check this out at Brea in August, opening for JoKoy. I see multiple people every day driving from the west side to here, looking at their phones, swerving a little bit because they just kind of drifted when they're looking at their emails or texts or God knows what, Facebook.
Right.
The distracted driving is not up to the ear. It's not up to the ear. It's just glance at the phone, glance at the phone, send a text, reply to it. I think that's fine where they're giving the tickets. The other shit, it's like,
there's 65 of them.
I agree.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So Joe doesn't like it when we don't see what was leading up.
Hold on. Hit him with the flashlight, Joe.
Don't tell stories. Tell jokes.
Real quick, please. What's the light?
One more thing. We do have some video that's pretty hilarious and disturbing.
Acknowledge the light. How do you acknowledge the light? Acknowledge the light. You have 30 seconds left.
Do you have a little one of these?
No. That means good night. Just nod. There you go. But not like you're...
So nod, like don't nod, don't nod. Don't nod.
Like a little. There you go. There you go. There you go.
A little acknowledgement.
Do a little bit of your bit. Do a little bit. I'll give you the light. Go.
Okay. Here's the thing. I drive from the west side to Glendale every day, and I see tons of people.
No. Don't do it with a deep breath.
Okay.
Let it be fluid. Just acknowledge the light and keep talking. Right now, start again. Go again.
So I drive from the west side to Glendale. Gotcha.
No. Jesus Christ. Adam, can you throw some tissue paper at him?
I'll throw like a nacho chip at him.
All right, you ready? Let's go. Okay. Ready, go. Do your act. Go.
I drive from the west side to Glendale every... Light. Gotcha. Can do.
Joe, do you ask for the light in... Like when you're working out, like when you go to the Comedy Store and they go, we want 20 minutes. I always go, okay, give me the light at 18 minutes. But when you're doing your act, and your act is an hour or more or whatever. I'm not talking about filming a special. I'm talking about Brea.
Yeah.
Do you tell them, give me the light at 50 or 45 and I'll transition into this other thing, or do you use it at all?
At Brea, I'll do the first show. I keep kind of tight. But I'll always say, just let me know when it's an hour. That's what I'll say. And then I'll try and get off.
Put that light on in an hour.
Just give me an hour. Let me know that there's an hour. The second show, I'm like, don't give me a light.
The weird thing about driving from the west side to Glendale is...
Hold on, let me give him a light.
Get the light. YouTube star Logan Paul is coming in tomorrow. Is Logan Paul going to, fight somebody?
Depends if we insult him, I suppose.
No, we were talking about
you're thinking about Justin Bieber was going to fight Dana White.
No.
What?
Justin Bieber's going to fight Tom Cruise.
No,
Tom Cruise.
Logan Paul, for some reason, because I watch TMZ religiously, I think is training for a UFC style fight with somebody. But I might be making that up.
Remember the Bagel Boy? He's fighting.
He's fighting.
He had a fight last year against KSI.
How'd that go?
That was
so he's training. He's training for UFC. I mean, not UFC, but a mixed martial arts stuff.
Yeah, he does fight.
Who's KS?
He's a big guy.
Who's KS? Yeah. Anyway. I don't know.
KS1?
He's a YouTuber as well. So
okay. It's like a YouTuber fight. Oh. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, Adam, I forgot to tell you something. Oh, I'm sorry. There's more news. I'm sorry.
No,
you know, Kaylin and Chris Loxamana, I gave them the dare to go up on stage.
And
Chris was like, oh, I'm down. Let's do this. And then he got the other guys to go, Dre and Kaylin, right? And then he hyped them up. So they were like, all right, yeah, we're all going to do it. And then I go, all right, you got 2 weeks to get ready. And then guess who bailed?
Oh.
Max Zapata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
All of it for you, Brad.
Huge pad. Huge pad.
Chris,
guess who killed?
Kaylin.
Kaylin sucked. Look, Dre crushed. No. Dre, my brother-in-law, did great. Kaylin went up.
Joe sets 12 minutes long. There's a bunch of openers and he knows on his family.
Smart. Chris did not show up.
Good enough
anywhere.
for Cat Williams. Good enough for
right.
JoKoy.
Are comedy songs still a thing, or is that 80s? Could Chris do that with his little guitar?
Oh, he should do that.
Some parodies?
Yes.
He's too short to see the light. How's he know when to get off?
Oh.
Yeah. I just stay on stage.
So this is some great video, and I really, really want to share with you. A woman flew into a rage on a flight and hit her boyfriend with a laptop for looking at other women, according to The Sun, and we have it. The raging passenger can be seen berating her partner on board the packed flight from Miami before things turned violent. So to set the stage, because I have 2 clips, set the stage. Here's the first clip of the couple arguing before things heated up a little more.
Shut the f*** up. Yeah, you better believe it. I wear the f***ing nuts from the public. You want to try to look at other women? I'll f*** you. You ain't gonna look at other women, and you ain't gonna tell me you're looking at other women.
Listen, we have a little child right behind us.
Yeah, I know. I consult the child.
There's a little boy right behind you.
I already know.
Okay. So she said, and I quote, I wear the fucking nuts in public. Thank you, Brian. After she continues to berate this dude, flight attendants ask the man to get up, and that's when she gets really pissed.
Definitely not a Jew.
She follows him down the aisle, smacks him with what's being reported as her computer, punching him in the back. She then has a very flippant response when she's told she's about to be brought up on charges. Here's that clip.
You shut the f*** up.
All right, sir, you come up with us.
No. Oh, you gonna come up?
Yeah, man, I'm getting up, man. Get up. You're assaulting me, man.
Oh, I'm assaulting you?
Yeah,
I heard you for years. I'm assaulting you?
Wow.
Really going for
I was going to throw a bucket of water on her.
I'm gonna get my purse.
Wow. Going to get my purse.
Do you want to say I'm assaulting you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, yeah.
You memo?
Ma'am.
Yeah, I'm going over there.
You're going to be charged with assault.
Fine, whatever.
That's a flippant response.
Yeah. Come on, Memo.
Wait, were they together?
Yeah.
Why you calling her ma'am? Ma'am, you're assaulting me.
No.
No, he was like, man, you're assaulting me.
Oh, he said man.
I think so.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I am telling you, look, this is stupidity, prescription meds, but it's also a video game approach to life where all lines are blurred, where you just don't really know what reality is or where you are or who you're doing it in front of. Like, the dumber you are, the more you'll do in front of other people. So when you're super fucking dumb, you'll have loud arguments at restaurants. When you're smart, it feels wildly uncomfortable to be having that display of whatever in front of other people.
Yeah.
Or like, think about those people. You ever see those people that like beat on their kids in the middle of a mall? It's like a crowded mall and they're like smacking on their kids and screaming at them. Look, okay, when you're a reptile, you don't know where you are or who's watching. Do you think a anaconda or an alligator cares who's watching it do whatever?
Very little self-awareness.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at some point, you move a little like past the animal kingdom and you get into like a chimpanzee. And a chimpanzee has some thoughts about who's around. Maybe it's just because they want food or something. Then you get into sort of Floridian white trash. There's a black version. There's a Hispanic version. But the dumber you are and the less educated you are, the further you are away from where you are and what's going on. Like, I don't know, there's a sexual version of this where it's like, you want a blowjob? It's like I'm sitting in the middle seat on a Southwest flight. Yeah,
yes,
but
that
guy's reading a Sky Mall. I'll give you a Hummer. Like, there's that. And then but again, there's like the way you talk to the cops, the way you talk to your kids, the way you talk to your spouse. Like, you don't make a distinction between being in your house and in your kitchen and alone in the way you talk to your spouse or being on a flight and the way you talk to your spouse. It's a kind of a stupidity, and it's being exacerbated by all this fucking high self-esteem and your opinion is right and it's your world, we're just living it. Everyone has been hit with fucking creatine and supersized with this attitude, and so they don't even know what's going on. Like, this person doesn't even know that what she's doing is wrong or care.
Or the people that are looking or paying attention.
And then they're confused when they have negative circumstance or negative outcome, when there's consequences. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you holding me down? Like, why are we turning the plane around? Like, what do you mean why? We just did this whole...
Were you here?
We did this whole thing.
Yeah.
We are breeding more and more of these people, or maybe we used to have a lot of them, but they stayed on a farm.
Yeah.
They took the bus.
And they just argued with scarecrows or something. Now they're on a flight with us. Fucking... These people need to be tagged. Yeah. By the way, we make fun of China with their whatever, their minus points for humanity and stuff like that. Yeah. I want this chick with a fucking ankle bracelet, which is no more commercial airliners for you. 5 years, sweetheart. 5 years and a certificate from a psychiatrist before you get on to another fucking commercial flight. Yes?
Please.
A tattoo that fades after 5 years. You got to wear it for 5 years.
By the way, that boyfriend of hers was just a fat fuck. Like, who's he eyeballing on a plane? He's going to get busy with.
Hey,
yeah,
you like this?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Rush and I saw what Liam Hemsworth could do on a plane, but I don't think that's him.
No,
that guy couldn't fuck a guy in the bathroom because he's too fat.
Yeah, true.
He couldn't get another human being in that bathroom without suffocating the person.
It's a solo bathroom.
It'd be necrophilia.
Poor guy.
Then got hit with a computer. What's she need a computer for, by the way?
It was the next door neighbor's computer.
She's not doing spreadsheets for a big Wall Street company.
Yeah.
She's shopping, right?
Yeah. She's not on conference calls.
Is it safe to say that those are the two annoying couple? That's the two people you don't want to sit next to?
Yes.
And I'm not talking about the argument. I'm talking about all the shit that they had with them as well.
The multicolored hoodies.
Yeah, the goddamn big computer, the fucking purse.
Just the carriage alone. Like they're both going 255 plus, and you got to squeeze in next to that.
It's a Southwest flight. They're dressed like they're on the top tier of the Titanic.
Let me hear her again. I want to hear her. I want to hear her again. I
think she said. I think he said, "Ma'am."
I got her queued up.
I wear the fucking nuts in public.
There she is.
Let's play this.
You shut the up. Shut the up.
Okay. All right, Sarah, you're gonna come up with us.
No. Oh, you gonna come up?
Yeah, man, I'm getting up, man. Get up. You're assaulting me, man.
Oh, I'm assaulting you?
Yeah,
I
what's
remember
up?
here. I'm assaulting you?
Everyone's grabbing their own heads.
A lot of cell phones going.
My purse.
Look at her. She's just pushing people.
Do you want to say I'm assaulting you?
Yeah.
Who was... He was looking at other women?
Maybe on her laptop.
Oh, just two big annoying purses. Look at that. They're unbendable purses.
They're glitter backpacks.
A glitter backpack. The big Gucci purse with a bamboo handle.
Yeah.
You're on a Southwest flight.
Jesus
Middle
Christ.
seat. Slow down.
I've been saying this for years. We're going to have to put the fucking shark cage in the back of all flights over 2 hours because I don't want to divert. I don't want to land in Denver.
I didn't know you said that. That's
just
great.
Fucking put them in the back and lock them up.
Lock them up.
Lock them up.
Yeah. Why do we have to change routes? So we have to drop you two fucks off.
Right.
Stay in the back. I'm trying to get to JFK.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring it home, baby girl.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. I wear the fucking nuts in public.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.